Okay, welcome to the study of the book of Revelation. We are in lesson 13. It is about Babylon and beast. This is two chapters we'll be studying. So, Revelation chapter 17 and 18. So, you are given the homework, Revelation chapter 17, 1 to 6, about the great prostitute, so, or harlot. The second is the vision given to John about the end of the or the judgment of them. So the Babylon is judged. How it is judged, then Babylon is lamented, and the lamentation continues. So when we talk about Babylon, we talk about two human systems. So religious Babylon is Revelation chapter 17. Commercial Babylon is Revelation chapter 18. These two systems are judged by God. So when you talk about Babylon, it is not just a town or the city. So though the ideas origin from there, so it represents a system. So when you talk about religious Babylon, it is a system. What is a system? So the gospel says salvation is gift of God. God provides the salvation. But the religious system says, no, we have to earn our salvation. So we are responsible for our own salvation. So we have to do pilgrimage, you have to do alms, you have to do rituals, this and that. So they create their own system. So that is what we call it as religious Babylon, which creates a system that is not according to God's will. So it begins from Genesis chapter 11. We will talk about it little later. So the commercial Babylon is a oppressive economic system that oppresses the people, that makes people who are rich richer and richer, and they are not conscious about the poor people, the oppressed people. Caring and sharing is not in their vocabulary. So it is about coveting, looting, exploiting. So these two systems are controlling the world, or it is dominating the world. So these two systems are judged. So the fall of Babylon is declared earlier in Revelation 16, 19, 14, 18, but the detailed explanation is only given in chapters 17 and 18. So Babylon is mentioned 287 times in the scripture, next only to Jerusalem. Jerusalem is the most mentioned city, 667 times in Old Testament and 139 times in New Testament. So Jerusalem is seen as the representation of God, God's kingdom. So that we will see later. So Babylon is representation of Satan and all the human systems that try to create a global order. So when we talk about Babylon, we are talking about systems, or it is a structure, or it is an invisible, interconnected organism which is behind them. So Babylon religious system, when we talk about Babylon, it is the city is in the banks of Euphrates. Euphrates is river, which is one of the longest rivers in the world. It was the seat of civilization and rebellion against God. So Genesis 11, if you read that, there you can see the people were of one language. They were descendants of Noah. So they were racing against God by building a city as well as town. So God judged them, and their language was confused. So that is the origin. When you talk about Babylon, we have to remember the Tower of Babel. In John's day, Rome was in many ways fulfillment of Babylonian attitude or Babylonian worldview or Babylonian ideology. So Rome was a very, very strong empire with a very, we can say, law and order was good. Law and order was good means they were able to control the whole empire, good roads, and they can move the military so fast to any corner. And there was very, very strict orders. And they were collecting taxes, though it was not fair, but law and order was. So Babylon is the world system. Under Antichrist, Babylon is religious as well as commercial ruling establishment. So the whole system comes under the control of Antichrist. So it is known as the Great Prostitute. So when we talk about prostitution, it is spiritual adultery. So denying the living God and choosing their own gods. So the Babylonian religion was founded by wife of Nimrod. So Nimrod was great grandson of Noah. So his name is Semiramis. Her name is Semiramis, that is wife of Nimrod. She was also a high priestess of idol worship. So about Nimrod, we read in Genesis chapter 10. So the legend states that she gave birth to a son, and she claimed that she conceived miraculously. So it was imitating the virgin birth. She named her son Tammuz, who was considered as Savior. So like Jesus Christ. So they have Tammuz. Many idols were with Mother Semiramis holding son Tammuz are familiar in the ancient world. You can see the picture here. So this is the picture that shows the Queen of Heaven. And the legend continues. Tammuz was killed by a wild beast. So he was killed by a wild beast. Miraculously, he became alive again. So it is imitation of the death of cross and resurrection. Another name of Tammuz in Canaan was Baal, the worship of Baal. So this was a Middle East in the ancient world. This was the common worship. So from among them, God called Abraham. So the descendants of Abraham, the physical descendants and the spiritual descendants, that's the church, are supposed to continue to be witness for the truth. The prophets condemned Babylonian religions. Ezekiel condemned the ceremony of weeping for Tammuz. So this is like they we have Good Friday, which is celebration, and also we remember the death of the cross of Calvary. So the imitation religion also had something like that, weeping. So Jeremiah condemns making cakes for Queen of Heaven to Semiramis and also offering incense to her. So prophets Ezekiel, Jeremiah, and others condemn this religious system. So Babylon sits on many waters. That means there were many nations who are following that worship. So many waters, many people. So that means they were also wanted to be a universal religion where all cultures, all languages could become their followers. So they had a very great vision. So false religion also have universal appeal. The gospel is universal, Christ is universal, church is universal. So The false religion is also universal. There may be different religions, but all are clubbed into one false religion. The false religion intoxicates kings and people. So they are excited about the false religion. They are excited about the tradition. They are excited about the rituals. They are proud about that they are ancient religions. So all those we can see even spiritual adultery of idol worship is a mark of Babylonian religion. So when we talk about Babylonian religion, if there is idol worship, so that is surely it is a Babylonian religion. So prophets, the law, the prophets, and in the Gospels we see this Babylonian religion is condemned. Then we see the vision of John. John is carried away into wilderness, a desolate place. The personification of Babylonian prostitute was sitting on the same beast with 7 heads and 10 horns that was revealed earlier. So the Antichrist and his tyrannical rule. So John was taken to wilderness. There he could see the personification of the Babylonian prostitute. Personification means, so it is like a parable, it is a visible parable. So, how do you understand the Babylonian religion? We understand the Babylonian religion as a Babylonian prostitute. So, where is the prostitute? The prostitute is sitting on the same beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. So, it is Satan inspired or dragon inspired religion. So all religions that are not from Jehovah. So Judaism began with Jehovah. So Christianity is a continuation of Jehovah, then God Jesus Christ. All other religions have origin there from the dragon. So this means the beast provides full political support to her. So already we said the Babylonian religion is the religious structure, and now she gets political support. So the religious power structure, the political power structure, then the economic or the commercial power structure. So all these are dominating forces in the world. Even in any society, any community, any nation, these three are the dominating powers: the religious power, the political power, then the economics or the commercial power. So Antichrist dragon strategically take over all these three structures. This means blasphemy is evident to God, but to the people on earth she is religious, spiritual, and woman of faith. So it is very evident to God that it is blasphemy. It is against God. It is against the Creator. It is against the truth. But the world, people of the world think all these religions are religious. They are spiritual. They have faith. They are genuine. So they are authentic. So they want all the religions to be considered as sacred, authentic. So that is what the Babylonian system is. And we see the other characteristic: pomp, pride, and luxury. She is clothed in luxury, purple, gold, precious stones. Scarlet indicates her authority, that is, red color indicates her authority. So both are colors of splendor and magnificence. So that is very common. The kings, the some of the priests of the religions, so the highly placed people use this dress to impress upon people. Her abominations are idolatry and impurity. So this is what we learn about Babylon.